What's going on, Ohio? And everybody watching from near far. This is Sports Talk with the fellas, coming to you live from the M Lounge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host that don't boast, F Dizzle, and dropping knowledge that's solid are the fellas, Bobby J,
What's good?
L Dub.
L Dub in the house.
Yo, we're your one-stop shop for all things sports. From the gridiron to the hardwood and everything in between. We'll be breaking down the hottest news in sports and giving you our unfiltered takes. And trust, they are unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Yes, no lies detected.
So whether you're a ride or diehard fan or just looking to stay informed, you've come to the right place.
Pull up.
And oh yeah, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell to be notified whenever we drop new content. And trust, you won't be disappointed.
Facts.
With that being said, there's a lot going on in the NFL. We have tags. We have the NFL Combine going on. And also we have some March Madness that's about to hit us. So we're gonna start the show off with some NFL, and we're gonna end it with our favorite part of the show. Straight trash team of the week.
Gotta take the garbage out.
Straight
Trust.
trash.
You're definitely gonna love this one. You're gonna love this one. But fellas, we're gonna talk some NFL.
Let's get into it.
The Jets are open to trading Zach Wilson, but not actively shopping him around. This marks a significant shift from the previous voicing public support for Zach as the franchise quarterback. Potential reasons are on-field performance. We know what that's about. Off-field maturity and coaching change. So, fellas, what's your take?
Yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go. He's not a starter. He's definitely not a number one. So when they turn things over to him, after Aaron Rodgers' long stay with them, he didn't step
Very
up
long.
all 8 seconds. But anyway, but no, he's not good. He's better as a backup. So hopefully he can get picked up as a backup and he can be that journeyman backup and stay in the league long enough to get his pension.
Now, you know what? When I look at a lot of things, what I see is another coming of Johnny Manziel, who came out of college super hyped. They had him, gave him his own little nickname, and he was feeling himself. And I think Zach came in feeling himself. You know, you've got the off-field incidences where he's showed lack of maturity. His performance on the field has been subpar. You know, one game he might look good, and the next game he looks like he shouldn't even be in the league. So you never know if where he lands, it could be a new beginning for him, and he could blossom somewhere else. But the way it looks, he's going to probably end up being a solid backup for somebody. And the question is who is going to invest in him for him to even be around?
So we love football. We watch a lot of football. And we look forward to draft time and everything like that and who's going to be the number one pick and all that. We never heard of Zach Wilson.
Right.
We wasn't lighting up the boards talking about Zach Wilson. I can't wait to see what team picks him or anything like that. We were all like, who?
Yeah.
So
I will agree with you on that because he did kind of come out of nowhere. They do that a lot, and we won't pinpoint why, but yeah, they do that for a lot of quarterbacks, and it's just like, dude. And then most of the time, they end up being wrong because they don't pan out.
So, Zach, it's been a good run, but yeah, bro, it's time for you to go. Never wish a player or anybody to lose their job, but
Right.
good luck to
Wish him much success wherever he lands.
wherever you go. So
Get you a good pen to hold the clipboard.
with that said, and moving on.
With my big umbrella because the shade is out.
Yes, yes. So the Kansas City Chiefs, that's another team. Chris Jones, figuring out what they want to do with him, and then you have Jerry Sneed. Well, he could be on the move, as the Chiefs have granted him permission to seek a trade. They might use the franchise tag before the deadline, allowing them to trade him later. What's your take?
We talked about Legarius last week and talking about how they're going to tag him and re-signing. Yeah, I think he's somebody you got to keep though. He's somebody you got to keep because the way the league is now, you've got to have a corner that's going to shut down your number one receiver. So with Jamar, with T, with um the dude over at with Pickett over at Pittsburgh, with Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams at the Raiders, you got to have somebody that's going to shut them down.
Now, one thing I think that the Chiefs might be bucking on is the fact that McDuffie played as well as he did. But to me, I would rather have two solid corners than one. So if they can find a way to sign him, even if they just franchise tag him, I'd rather have two solid corners who can shut down your 1 and 2 instead of having one. Because if you get a team like Cincinnati who comes in with at least two 1A, 1B receivers, he can't cover both of them. So you need to have a solid corner on both ends. That's just my opinion.
Anything else, L?
No, I'm good. We're good.
All right. L'Jarius Sneed. Here's one. This is probably the most talked about
I concur.
situation when it comes to teams and what they want to do with a player, and that's the Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. Personally, I think they should keep him. But on the other side of it, I think he needs to go somewhere else because it's Chicago. They haven't done right by any quarterback in the last I don't know how many years. And I think Justin can do better elsewhere. What do you think, El?
It's a good position to be in, but then it's a bad position to be in because the Bears have all this draft capital. You've got a quarterback that you can build around, but you also are pushing for a new stadium and you need some momentum going into that new stadium when it gets built. So, do you trade away him, draft Caleb Williams, and start to build around him and get ready for that move into that new stadium? Justin hasn't gotten a fair shot in Chicago. The offense has been bad in Chicago, and saying bad is being nice. Um, so from that aspect, yeah, I'd like for him to move to get that shot to be with a team that's going to be competitive, that really wants to win, and I like Atlanta. I like Atlanta with Kyle Pitts, with Bijan Robinson. That's a good young core to build around. That's a good young core to be the face of the franchise, and that definitely makes that puts a spotlight back on Atlanta to be a team to watch and to make them a team kind of that you need to watch and keep an eye on?
Chicago. Justin Fields is not the problem. Let's
He's
be
not the
clear.
problem. He's not the problem.
You can go ahead and draft Caleb Williams. Y'all got all this hype about this kid. He's never played in the NFL. And y'all calling him a generational talent. I'm not sold on that. And I'm not saying that he won't have a great career, but you know the skill set that Justin has, but you refused to build around it until this year when you finally got him a receiver. And you saw what progress he made just in having one receiver as opposed to none. So get him some help, keep him. But just like L Dub said, Chicago does not do good with quarterbacks at all. So I would like to see him go somewhere else as well. And Atlanta is where I would like to see him go.
And then again, how much do you really trust a Lincoln Riley quarterback?
That part.
Not bashing Lincoln Riley, but you've got Baker, you've got Kyler Murray, you've got Jalen Hurts. Now you've got Caleb Williams. You had the prodigy out of Spencer Rattler, but he broke camp once he got outplayed by Caleb. But yeah, man, I don't know. You know, that's a kind of a gimmicky system,
Right.
and I'm not really sure it really translates to the league.
And what makes it interesting to me is the minute he broke camp and left and went to USC, Caleb went right behind him because Caleb was like, that's where I'm comfortable. I don't think he trusted himself to stay there with a new offensive regime. So he went where he was comfortable and where he knew he would still be able to produce. But again, you know, I watched him and I see talent. I don't know if I see generational talent, and I don't know where they're coming from with all that. He's a very good quarterback. I'm not taking anything from me from that aspect. But I just don't think that he's going to be the answer immediately. I could be wrong, but I just don't. And
But
that's whether he goes to Chicago or anywhere else.
Yeah, because he put up those numbers in the Pac-12.
Right.
The Pac-12 that is not known for defense at all.
I think Utah was the only team that was ranked defensively, and there might be one or two others, but yeah, they were the only team whose defense was actually recognized when they talked about the team.
Utah was the only team that played a physical style of football that caused USC fits when they played. So,
right. Oregon's defense was decent, but yeah.
So I mean, putting up numbers in a league that doesn't play defense, I don't know. I've got some questions about that.
Same. I mean, even when same thing with the Big 12. You know, you put up all these numbers, but who really plays defense in the
Yeah, that. Yeah, that's one of them situations, man. Yeah, but since we're talking about Sir Caleb Williams, we're gonna talk about the NFL Combine, which kicked off today. And for those that don't know anything about the NFL Combine, right? Started today in Indianapolis. And this is a platform that offers roughly over 300 college football prospects to showcase their skills to the NFL teams. And they do this by interviews, medical evaluations, on-field workouts, including everybody's favorite, the 40-yard dash, along with the vertical jump. And this year, the top prospects, and we just talked about one, for quarterbacks, Caleb Williams from USC, Jaden Daniels from LSU, and Drake Mays from UNC. Receivers, Everybody know who the number one receiver is coming into the combine, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr. Um, we also got Rome. What's his
Nduze.
Nduze from Washington, and Malik Neighbors from LSU. All great receivers. The top tight end, Brock Bowers from Georgia, of course.
Without question.
So that's easy. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we got Nate Wiggins from Clemson, Jared Verse from Florida State, Dallas Turner from Alabama, and Byron Murphy from Texas. Along with a lot of other players. Going into this combine, what are y'all looking for out of the players, and who do y'all see as top prospects?
For me, the biggest thing is how many of the top players are not performing at the combine. So Marvin Harrison Jr. said, "Hey, all my stuff is on tape. I'll see y'all at the draft. I'm getting my suit tailored, and I'll be there. But yeah, I ain't working out. I'm not taking that chance of getting injured."
And that's a key statement. Because who was the kid a couple years ago that was
kid tore his pack
yeah
doing the bench press?
Well, there was a kid that was running the drills, and he got hurt, and all the coaches just walked away and left him. Right. They saw what they wanted.
Mm-hmm. So you got the top performers not performing. How about out of all the top players, when we get to the tight end category, only one tight end is mentioned? How elite is Brock Bowers, and how so many teams are looking at, hey, can I get a hold of him? So
he's a dog.
I think the last thing is going to be, how sore are the players going to be? Because all 32 teams have brought their doctors. They know the medical history, and they're going to poke and prod those kids, looking over those injuries that they have. So one that I'm looking at is Michael Penix. Michael has 2 MCL tears in the same knee, and they're gonna poke and prod at that knee, and look to see how strong it is. And their fear is, what happens if he tears it a third time? So to see what they do with him at the combine, that's gonna be real interesting.
I would have to agree with that. And just to completely flip it from that, when you talk about injuries, I'll go all the way back to Frank Gore. Frank Gore tore his ACL, 3 times in college, 2 or 3 times in college, and went on to have a completely healthy, pretty much predominantly injury-free NFL career. He never really suffered any serious injuries. So Penix may never get hurt again, but anytime you come into it with a string of injuries, they're definitely going to have you under the microscope, and they're going to be looking at everything they possibly can and examining everything to make sure that if they invest their money in you, that you're not going to end up being a wash because you got hurt on some injury that you never really recover from.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Penix, and see how that turn out. I wish that kid the best. I mean,
I would like to see him have a solid career.
You work so hard to make it this far, and man, you just you always pray that you don't get injuries, because that's
right.
That's hard right there, because injuries just man, you talking about just rip your heart out, man, and it just can change your whole career around, what you're trying to do for your future. So, I really hope he makes it and it don't interfere with him going forward.
Now, one thing that I do like about the combine is it actually spotlights a lot of players who really weren't in the spotlight. So if they come in and some kid out of Hoboken State University runs a 4.3, all eyes are going to be on him. Like, who's this kid? Where's he coming from? How come we don't know nothing about him? Because nobody paid no attention to him because he was at this little hole in the wall school. But all it takes is for you to do something dynamic at the combine to get put on the map. And that could actually boost your draft status because you can't coach speed, you can't coach size.
Most definitely. Now, for those guys who weren't who aren't all American, first team All Americans, who aren't the team MVPs, yeah,
Right.
it's definitely that opportunity to showcase yourself. So
That solid left tackle from a small school, or that solid center, a receiver, a tight end, a cornerback, linebacker. It just, all it takes is a good showing at the combine for you to have an opportunity to have your name called over the weekend of the draft and change your life for the better financially.
most definitely.
So we touched a little bit on the combine. We'll definitely touch this topic some more on the next show when we have a better look at all the events and what happened with some of the top prospects that actually decided to go out and perform for scouts or whoever from these teams. Once we get that information, we'll definitely expound on it more and talk about the different events like the 40-yard dash, vertical jump, and anything else that's important when it comes to the combine and what each team is looking for out of the players. So with that down, we're going to move on to March Madness. Woo!
There's nothing better.
Woo!
And it's the best 3 weekends.
Woo! Boy, FanDuel about to be popping.
Boy,
Get your
parlays left and right.
left and right. Hold on, matter of fact.
Let me check my
Let me, man.
check my ticker line.
Man, shoot, Brian. So with March Madness coming up, we got championship week that's gonna come. What teams are you looking at, and who you think is going to be there in the end? What's your predictions as of right now from what you have seen or heard?
Right now, I'm looking at Houston. I'm looking at UConn.
Yep.
UConn has been consistent all year.
Mhm.
Houston is a physical, defensive-minded team,
Gritty.
but can put some points up on the board. So I'm definitely looking at those two. You always have to look at Bill Self in Kansas.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
And then I'm a little partial to Arizona. Lightweight, been a long time fan of Arizona. Back to Sean Elliott.
I remember those days.
Yeah,
Good old days.
the good old days. Sean Elliott, Lute Olson, and all them. But I like Arizona out west. Provided they go out west, they should win the Pac-12. But I think if they set that up, I really think Houston and UConn are the two best teams.
Yeah, I haven't watched a whole lot myself, but from what I have watched, I would have to agree with that. I haven't even seen much of Gonzaga this year either. And it's funny because just in the last, 5, 6, 7 years somewhere, the dynamics have changed. Because 10 years ago, we'd have been talking about North Carolina, Duke, Kansas,
Hmm.
and somebody else. Now
Kentucky.
Kentucky. Now they're lucky to make the tournament. And you got Gonzaga, who came out of nowhere and became a powerhouse and went to the Final Four, played in the national championship. I'm like, how is this dude recruiting these players at Gonzaga? But once he started winning, that's all it takes. If you put a winning program on the floor, people are going to come play for you. And he's put some solid players in the league in the last few years.
I think, well, it really comes down to, I probably can't get that McDonald's All American to come out to Gonzaga all the way out to Washington, but I can get that next level
But wasn't
to come
Jalen
out
Suggs
there.
an All American?
He was in football.
Oh, was he? I thought he was a McDonald's All American too.
And then he was a one and done. But I do give Gonzaga credit because they do have that we'll play you anywhere, anytime mentality.
I do love that.
Yeah, I do like that about them. And then,
like, you want us to come to Duke? Okay, we'll come to Duke.
But I think they get the advantage of playing in that smaller conference now. And then, just like Boise State back in the day, they got all year to save up their little money to go wherever the team goes as far as NCAA. So they do for the school that size, they do travel well.
Yes.
But you got to talk about parity now.
Parity is huge.
So here's Carolina, a traditional power, and now they're sitting at 10 in rankings.
They have a decent team, but it's just not.
The ACC is not as strong as it once was.
Exactly.
The Big 12 is definitely taking that over. They're looking at getting like 9 teams in the Big 12.
Right.
I think they have 6 teams ranked in the top 25 right now. And then it used to be the Kansas Invitational, so I'm curious to see how Houston plays with Kansas in the conference tournament when it comes up. And then I'm actually looking forward to next year when Arizona comes in and you have that Arizona Kansas matchup in Kansas.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I hope that's not a Thursday night game. That's gonna need to be a Saturday game.
Oh man.
But shout out to my Buckeyes.
Yes, sir.
2-1 under the temporary coach Jake Diebler. Let's go, Jake.
Let's go.
You're not gonna get the job though, but let's go, Jake.
We're proud of you. What you're doing.
You've done a great job, dude. Yes. Way to hold it together.
Oh yeah. Speaking of Ohio State, we have to talk about the women.
The Big Ten champs.
Big Ten champs.
Ranked number 2.
Ranked number 2, looking at a 1 seed women's Final Four in Cleveland this year.
Peep this out. A big game this Sunday. They play Iowa.
And going up against Caitlin Clark, and she get a chance at the record too?
Oh man, she already, man.
She got another record looking
she's at the top. Shoot, right now.
That's that Iowa. Man, that is huge going into the conference tournament.
Right.
Oh yeah.
If they go into Iowa, beat Iowa, they've already clinched the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament. But to go in there and close out the season like that, they've won 15 straight. You can they said they haven't lost in 2024. That's a lot of momentum. That's a lot of momentum to go into Iowa, beat Iowa, and then head into the conference tournament and NCAA tournament.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to the women's tournament just as much as I am the men's, because I think we're going to see a better LSU once the tournament starts, because they're starting to hit the ground a little bit better. You got South Carolina out there. You always got to worry about UConn. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Ohio State getting the 1 seed, possibly maybe the Midwest or something. That's going to be real interesting.
Oh yeah. I want to give a shout out to Caitlin Clark. No matter if you love her, hate her, she did her thing. You can't take nothing away from greatness. And
give credit when credit's due. She's a remarkable scorer.
She's
remarkable scorer.
Like, yeah.
And will shoot from everywhere on the court.
So today she did announce she's not returning. So this is making her, basically, she's going to be the number one prospect for the WNBA draft. So she's going to get paid. Well, shout out to her for doing her thing and, just being at the top. She did what she had to do, and, you can't take that away from her.
You can't. No. And definitely a boost to the women's game.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Definitely. But I'm going to tell you this.
What you got?
I'm gonna just tell you right now. I didn't peep a few of these games, and good luck against South Carolina.
Bruh.
I'm gonna tell you. I done watched several games, man, and I be looking at games. I'm like, yeah, they gonna get got. Good luck. Good luck. To me, it's South Carolina and everybody else.
Unanimous.
So
they have a big chip on their shoulder because they just knew that they were going to win it last year with Aaliyah Boston, and they didn't. And then their team from the conference, LSU, ended up taking the whole thing. So yeah, they're playing with a purpose, and you can see it when they come out there. And that freshman point guard, she's sick.
Yeah, good luck. So yeah, looking forward to some good basketball in March from the women's and men's side. Exactly. So throughout the season it's like, but you gotta watch when March Madness come.
Right.
I swear, man, like, I love seeing the brackets to just get destroyed on like the first couple of days. Like,
long as it's not my bracket.
like you talking about people and like, yeah, they didn't rip it up. It's like it ain't even good no more because the team they had
they picked somebody to go to the national championship and they lost in the first round.
Yeah, so I love the chaos of March Madness, man.
There's nothing better.
It's so exciting. So
these kids go out there and play and leave everything on the floor, men and women, because they know it's one and done. If we lose, we don't get to come back next week and play again. We going home. It's vacation time. It's time to study, and that's it. No more basketball. So yeah, and then when you get the Cinderella stories, those are always entertaining, and they definitely boost the ratings at the men and women's level. If you got that team come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they're in the Final Four, like, where did you come from?
Yeah, it's definitely the most special time of the year because you could be the hottest shooting team in the country coming in, and you have that one bad day, and now you out
on the bus on the way home like this.
We've seen the 16 seed beat the 1 seed. We actually saw it here in Columbus last year,
right?
And watching Florida Atlantic advance to the Final Four last year. So it's just that 40 minutes. Hey, give me 40 minutes. Give me all you got, and we're gonna see where we at the end.
And you can almost always count on a 12 seed beating a 4 seed, at least one.
Man. Y'all know what time it is?
Alert.
Y'all know what time it is?
It's that
time.
time.
Yo, yo, yo. It's our favorite segment of the show. Straight trash team of the week. What's the saying, fellas?
If
Fit
you hit the criteria,
you
You
can
can get it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
somebody gonna get it.
Somebody's going to get it.
Who's it going to be?
Who is it going to be? So on this week, man, we have 3 nominees. First nominee is Cam Newton in the scuffle. The man that got jumped by the man that couldn't complete the jump.
So yeah, they're the trash. He's not, but them clowns that caught themselves jumping him and didn't even phase his hat.
Didn't lose the hat.
Didn't lose the hat. That's nominee number 1. Nominee number 2. The Terror Squad.
Yeah, we talking about Fat Joe.
Terror Squad.
You know what?
Should have left them shoes on the shelf, bro.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to show you the video.
But I'm a sneaker collector into the
And
art.
then the third
so
nominee.
I had to find these.
That team up north. Basketball team. Woo! And the winner for this week, that team up north.
You know it.
There it is.
Straight trash.
Garbage time.
I'm going to let my man, L-Dub, elaborate on this one.
Enlighten us, my brother.
The Michigan Wolverines.
The Michigan Wolverines.
Otherwise known as that team up north.
I have another name for him, but I refrain.
Losers of 5 straight.
We want to keep this family oriented.
Winners of 2 out of the last 12. Sitting last in the Big Ten. Overall record of 8-20. Got the fans calling Jawan Howard Jalost. So, and it in a lot of ways it hurts because personally I feel that there are some colleges out there, some universities that can have an upper echelon football and basketball program. Michigan is one of them.
Yep.
The University of Texas is another.
Mm-hmm.
And Ohio State is another.
Mm-hmm.
That should have an elite football team and a very solid basketball program.
If not elite.
And to see Michigan struggle the way that they are struggling right now, no, that's not acceptable.
No, I haven't watched them at all. I think I might have seen one game. But is it the coaching? Is it the talent? Because I really couldn't tell you, to be honest. Or is it a combination of both?
It's a combination of both. It's really similar to Ohio State, to where if they get down at the first half, they just can't recover.
Gotcha.
But there's been a couple of games where they just have not been competitive. And even, looking at articles in the Free Press where Purdue took over Chrysler Arena last weekend, and you could hear boiler up chants. The week before, when Michigan State came over, you could clearly hear "Go Green, Go White" in Chrysler Arena. So that just really tells you the state of Michigan basketball right now.
That's not good.
Wow. Well, hey. Sorry, team up north. You are the weakest link.
Goodbye.
Trash
has
team
been
of
taken
the
out.
week. Yes, sir. Wow. Man.
Trash, man. Just
Whew. Throw it out. But yeah. Man, it's been another good one. Another good one.
another
Yes,
good
sir.
one. Another good
Um,
one.
next week will be even better. We might have a few surprises for everybody. So stay tuned. Um, if you just tuning in, um, once again, hit that like and subscribe button and smash that notification bell.
Come hang with us.
And come along with the ride. Come enjoy it. It's gonna be a great ride. So with that being said, like we always say,
Peace.
Peace.